what I don't hear enough of ever, even in some of the best musicians, but certainly in students or novices or intermediate players, is I don't hear enough simplicity of taking one idea and maybe developing it a little bit, meaning, sticking with it, meaning, saying something, no matter what primitive level of ability they have. No matter what your primitive level of ability, you can say something profound with it. And learning how to say something, or at least attempting to say something meaningful, moving, emotion containing, that's the whole point of making sound through instrumental music. I mean it's, and so everything in jazz specifically to me is so neurotic and dysfunctional. It's so dysfunctional, and it's so caught up in the wrong things. And I mean, all these things breed more dysfunction. The more kids, when they're already in high school, are just sucked into academia. I mean, how many are going to be left that are put through that ringer of that are just going to have an emotion that can be communicated, that might appeal to somebody besides a fellow music student? I mean, how do I tell if somebody's a good musician? Well, how does the audience react? And not necessarily just if they're being very big with their movements and everybody goes, yeah, at the end of the solo. I mean, that's okay too, but does the waiter tap his foot when he walks by? Is there a groove? If you're playing solo guitar, does somebody seem to be grooving a little bit? Is there a smile on people? Are you making them sort of happy? I mean, does the sound of your music seem to be enriching their life? I mean, with art, there's endless debates, and they're all valid in my view to a certain degree. But for me, I'm into beauty and making the world a better place, as opposed to, other alternative artistic viewpoints, which are valid, of reflecting the world in a way that it is maybe not so beautiful. But for me, it's okay, I got enough of that. So I want to just it doesn't just mean pretty sounds, but I mean, the acquisition of the skill that's crafted and cultivated and put out into the world is look, here's a source of some joy and radiating some type of positive sense, I think is good. So, when you see good musicians, they seem to do that. Audiences seem to be subconsciously attracted to that, whether they know the language or not. So you look for that in yourself and in other players when you're coming up, when you're younger, or less experienced. You think, well, what is it about this person? Often it's being authentic, they're just, and what does that mean? They're not editing their true personality. They're just willing to put their quirks, their faults out and say, this is me. And actually, the more you do that, the more you sound better and the more people relate and react to you, All right, thank you so much. I'm Andy Brown. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please like it and please subscribe.